Alrighty, welcome back to Shock and Shock. I'm your host, Joshua Gillis, and I know it's been 3 months since I've uploaded a video, so let's just call this Season 2 of Shock and Shock. It's been almost damn near 3 years of being on YouTube, but Season 2. Coming out of the slump with a film that inspired me to finally start making videos again. Also going to be doing a review for the new White Gardenia film this week, so reviews are back. Today is 1982's forgotten, maybe, classic, or at least one that I don't hear very much about at all. Humongous, directed by Paul Lynch. A rather simple film to talk about on paper. The plot follows a group of teens that their boat crashes on this deserted island, not deserted island, but uninhabited island. Well, it's only inhabited by one person, implied. We're told to them that this old woman lives on the island and she comes to town once a month to get supplies and goes back, but no one hears from her. She's the only inhabitant, but she has a son that was the product of her assault 30 years prior, and he is big and angry and hungry. So he begins killing the teens off one by one. Pretty simple on paper, but this is a incredibly mean-spirited film. The film opens with an assault scene, and it is graphic and rough and brutal and realistic feeling. Doesn't cut away much. It's very gross, and that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the film. The teenagers in this are some of the most unlikable protagonists in any film. They're spiteful and sexed up, but not in a way that's fun. Like a lot of slasher movies, teens are always trying to get laid. In this they are, but they always seem kind of forceful about it a lot of the time. It's very sleazy and nasty feeling. You kind of get bad vibes from everybody in this film. And the kills in this are just grounded in a way. There's not anything super over the top. It's not supernatural. It's just this angry being that's been grown up in horrific conditions, that's doesn't know how to interact with people and has become a monster. And it's just very bleak and almost tragic in a way when you think about what is going on in this. There's dogs in this, and it's the slasher has to eat dogs to survive because there's nothing else. And it's kind of turned into this animalistic being. And says, the more you think about it, this just feels greasy. This film is so nasty and greasy and just blah. And the tone of this is just so haunting. There are many scenes of liminal spaces, a cabin that seems abandoned. There's nobody else on this island, and we get wide shots of the teens walking up to this. Everything is always empty. The soundtrack only adds to this, is very ambient at times, while other times it doesn't fit the tone, but does so in a way that makes it actually more effective because it makes it very unsettling. It's just absolutely stellar in its tone. Once the kills start happening, people start discovering it. There's never a let's go fight the slasher. A lot of things are oh, we're so we're big and tough and we're gonna take this on and get past it and everything's gonna be happily ever after, we're gonna save the town or whatever. This doesn't feel like that. Everybody kind of loses hope. One of the protagonists, there's a part where people go into a room, there's bodies hanging from the ceiling, and one of them doesn't scream, he just starts crying, and you see his soul shattering, and it's just very odd. This film takes itself very seriously, and it does so in an effective way. When he starts crying, that was the moment that I knew this was something different. It feels very hateful, but in a effective way. It feels like if Andy Milligan's Seeds in a lot of ways, maybe not as bleak as that film, but very similar. It's like that as a slasher, so really top tier. Even the ending of this, slasher movies, how they end with, I won't spoil that, but you can imagine what will happen at the end. Even then, it doesn't feel like a success for our final girl. Um, it feels like there's no like sense of victory or anything. It's just like this is finally over, but I'm irreparably scarred, and like we just see her like blank face, and the film ends. It is absolutely fantastic. Um, this is a very difficult film to get officially. The DVD and Blu-ray were released by, I believe, Scorpion. They're both out of print. I was able to get a DVD, but it was like $30 for a DVD. So it's on YouTube though in full. Watched this twice in 2 days, and then bought the DVD and got an official like original '82 poster of it that I'm going to be framing, and maybe we'll talk about that in a video later. New items, but this is so well worth your time and a watch. It really stands hand and shoulders above really anything else that I've seen recently. So highly recommended. I'll see you guys this week. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. And as always, zero thoughts, zero editing, zero brain cells, and zero planning. I'll see you guys later.